Happy Sunday, all my fellow brothers and sisters in doll. Today, I'm bringing you a doll review and unboxing of a costume ball Barbie from the 90s. Okay, I've been wrestling with myself whether or not I should do this review or not because although the doll is beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, and all of that, at least in my case, there's well, there's a very somewhat painful anecdote or memory rather attached to it. I don't mean to bum you down, but if I'm going to talk about this, I might as well be honest and upfront. This video entry isn't just about the doll, okay? Because I've seen other video entries where people unbox the doll and tell you exactly what she brings and blah blah blah, and and that's fine, you know. But please allow me to bare my soul a little bit and tell you why this review is a little bit different. You see, I am Latino, and as most boys, Latino or not, we are raised to be uber masculine, okay? And let's face it, doll collecting is not exactly a traditionally masculine type of hobby. So, of course, every little boy that's ever picked up a Barbie, especially every little boy who is now a man like me in his 40s, knows exactly the type of harassment, yes, and bullying that I went through. Loving dolls, it's when you're a boy growing up, it can be very challenging when you grow up in the 70s and 80s, okay, even the 90s, because in the 90s I wasn't a little boy anymore, I was a teenager, but still I never outgrew dolls, okay, and there is one channel titled Boy Who Likes Dolls, or Boy Who Loves Dolls. I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing here, and I want to dedicate this video entry to him because he inspired me. He's one of the several people who've inspired me to do my own videos, but also because he's inspired me to come forth, to come out of the doll trunk, if you will, uh, with my love of dollies. And I remember this isn't it. This is another one. This is a gift that I got from one of my brothers. Yeah, baby, last Christmas. But the very first one that I got, when I first got it originally in the early 90s, I remember going into the store, Eckerd, which was a pharmacy. I believe they're completely extinct by now. Anyways, I went into Eckerd and I saw this doll and I had the money and I purchased her. But I still felt such shame, such deeply rooted shame of me buying a doll. And you know what? That's rubbish. It's absolute garbage. No boy should ever feel shame for loving or liking a doll any more than a little girl should feel ashamed for liking sports. But let's face it, that's the culture that, we grew up in. And in my neighborhood, very Latino, everybody knew everybody. So, and the lady who was the cashier at that particular moment at Eckerd, she lived in our building, and I was so afraid, literally afraid, that she would tell my mom or scold my mom, why is your son buying a doll? He's a boy. So I went with this lame excuse saying that it was my cousin's birthday and that's why I was buying her this doll because she's a girl, of course. Why else would a boy buy a doll if not to give us a gift to a female, right? Wrong. And I got the doll. I paid for it after I gave the cashier that silly story. But it wasn't enough for me to walk out the store with the doll in the bag. No, I went next door to a Subway's that was literally next door to it, and I asked for an empty large box because I was so afraid that anyone would see me with the Eckerd bag, which was transparent, as a matter of fact, and you could still see a doll. Now, from Eckerd to our building, it was several blocks that I had to walk, and again, I was just so afraid. So, I mean, I'm a man in my 40s now, and I can't believe, how afraid I was back then as a teenager that anybody would see me having this doll, just walking with it. And so I went inside Subways and I asked for an empty box, and they gave it to me. And with a large empty box, I put this doll in it, and that I was able to carry all the way to the house. And if I could go back, you know, I don't know if I would do things differently, but if I could talk to my teenage self, and I would tell him, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be ashamed. It's a doll. It's a toy. Granted, a toy that's not traditionally aimed at boys, true enough, but so what? I'm running out of battery here.